straight up, reverse the roles and a cage falls from the sky and lands on your head and you're in prison. Buddy, reverse the roles and you're in solitary confinement teleportation.
Wow, she is so bold. You love to see it.
Alright.
So bold, so bold. Yep, keep it up.
You get sent to the fucking chair like Kaya, like on God.
Good job, Nina. No.
Yo. Ah!
Yeah, go ahead.
Holy shit, that's insane. Oh, what else? I'll finish the clip.
I see this shit. It's so fucking annoying, right? It's so absolutely fucking annoying. And I am so glad to see that it is finally Ouroborosing itself. I have been waiting. I used to pray for times like this. And I want to say that I have had nothing but positive interactions with Pokimane, Ray, and Cutie and everything. But I think that one thing that they have done, and this is, I'm being honest, right? Y'all have gone and you have cultivated an audience of these.
Yo, hold on, guys. I've been making a good comparison about this chat for a while, chat. You guys have listened to me say this thing over and over again. The problem that I have with this type of behavior is that you're cashing in the W every fucking time. You're getting by, not having to put your foot on the ground on anything. But when it's a free win, you cash in. All you do is cash in. Oh, something is about me, but I'm under the radar. Nobody's calling me out. I don't even know what that is. I'm actually... And they just get all the W's, 4 set of them. And the one single time where they have to do the most small thing and they don't, boom, GG. I mean, they get clapped. It's annoying that it's the way it is, but I mean, you didn't know I have a lot of respect for Ludwig. Ludwig is kind of the cash in his W. Okay, here's an example. Hassan and the reacting when all the crosses were about the react drama, when everyone's looking at me with the crosshairs, and I was getting shit on, he was just like, anyway, guys, live from the broadcast, live from the podcast. My name is Hassan. I'm just gonna listen to Ethan. And he knew damn fucking well he did 10 times worse than I did. He was Mr. Chair fucking turbo. He was half a react, Mr. Chair, no comment, food and in his bitch, saying that he was cashing in the W of being under the radar, right? And if he had to get squeezed, he would have gone rolled. But he went by just being on the sidelines. And what happens when they actually have to make a take? You lose. You lose because you don't have a good take. You don't have the correct take. You don't have it. So when they get squeezed to have a take, they fall, they trip.
Hyper controlling, hyper vigilant, super aggressive, politically motivated people, and you have allowed yourself to be completely audience captured. As I said, the guy in chat said, some streamers raise a village, those streamers get raised by a village. And now they're getting raised by a village. Because now everybody's hating them. The way that they conduct themselves and make content it's creating a culture and an environment that is increasingly toxic, and now it's beginning to Ouroboros themselves.
I know what that means.
And I think this also, I think it happened also with Hassan with the dog thing. Like, if you didn't need to virtue signal every 5 fucking seconds, maybe you wouldn't have people trying to cancel you for every little time that you try to drink a
the snake that eat itself like the ring in Slay the Spire. The upgraded Slay the Spire starter ring.
Dr. Pepper, and you've got one of your viewers coming up to you, well, at least pretend like you care! At least pretend like you care! Jesus Christ. Go take your fucking meds. Go take your fucking meds. What is this?
Dude, that's ableist. That's ableist. This is my last clip I'm watching of Esmond Gold, by the way. This is my last one. I can't platform this at all. Can't believe I ever spoke to this guy. Ableist. What if you have mental illness or some disease? You have to take a medication. Like, you're gonna reduce them to just taking meds? That's fucking awful. Disgusting. Yikes. Mental illness and...
Jesus Christ. Go take your fucking meds. Go take your fucking meds. What is this?
Dude, that's ableist. That's ableist. This is my last clip I'm watching of Esmond Gold, by the way. This is my last one. I can't platform this at all. Can't believe I ever spoke to this guy. Ableist. What if you have mental illness or some disease? You have to take a medication. Like, you're gonna reduce them to just taking meds? That's fucking awful. Disgusting. Yikes. Cockroach. Anyway, I've gotten a lot of comments asking me to speak on recent news. Jeez, I need my meds. What the fuck? I can't read this shit. And I didn't tweet sooner because I felt. Oh! Oh! Dude, hold on. No, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. True. So it feels wrong not to say anything. Sexual assault and harassment should be taken seriously, whereas of the gender perpetuator. There's already so much shame associated with speaking out on experiences, when in reality, shame should lie with the abuser. If I'm ever slow to comment on things, it's because these didn't bring up a lot of emotions, past traumas. No, definitely, yeah. I mean, agree, but like I say, like I always say, I don't mean to be a hater these days, chat, but let's be honest. The speed in response to people that are hated is extremely hasted. It's always near instant when there's a clear W. When it's in the waters that are kind of ambiguous and it's not a clear W, ooh, I was on my day off. I was at dinner. I had no internet. I was busy. Chat, let me know where the guy says, oh, I was in a nuclear reactor. I'm on top of a ski hill. Like, that's kind of how it is. You know what I'm saying?
Huddle up to.
Oh, I can't.
I deleted my tweet because it reached real Nazis.
What even is that?
Real sexist people.
Guys, can I be honest with you? What even is that anymore? You would have to explain to me. I gotta be honest with you. Anything that doesn't align with all social media is Nazi. People say. Guys, I'm not dumb. I browse the internet. Dude. Like, literally 80% of my feed is people getting called Nazi. Like, it's crazy.
Real transphobic people. Real hatred people. It almost gave them like something to huddle up to. And so that is why I deleted my tweet. That is the reason. It also didn't provide enough context for people that did not know the context. So I'm not using Twitter again until I do my my Santa Ray foray. No, it's okay. I deleted my tweet.
Okay. Interesting. Well, I have a take, but it's all good. Who am I anyway? I'm nobody.
You take me to him! Take me to the son of a bitch!
Gang Clancy finding out the new Twitch employee banned.
We both
Mortifying.
We're so back to big bro.
Where is he? You take me to him! Take me to the son of a bitch! Take me to him! Come on! Go! 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 Go!
Wow. 12th ban. Guys, don't mind me. Guys, I'm just going on my 12th ban. All good. Guys, I'm not gonna do it again, I promise. Guys, I've been live 43 times. I've only been banned 1/3 of my streams. Like, really, dude?
Because I know that I have a visceral reaction when I see videos that seem to run counter to my views.
Yeah.
And I believe that everybody or most people have that feeling. And you try and fight against it and go, no, I'm going to watch this thing that Gary Lineker's just put out about Israel or whatever. Because my immediate reaction is my head wants to dismiss it before I've even watched it. Because I think this guy's an ideologue. He's on the other tribe.
Yeah.
So all the things that, and I agree with everything you've said, but they must also be going, gosh, these people on the right, you know, when they sit down and actually, because most of them just go, they're all psychopathic Nazis, they think we are. But if they really think about it, they go, why is it that they're not seeing the truth that we're seeing? So there must be another side to this story that you and I are just shielded from.
I'm afraid there's not. I have a lot of experience talking to the left on this, debating them, but also I always make every effort to understand the other side. And often I'm just naturally to take the devil's advocate position. So if someone's arguing my point, I quite often end up taking the other side. I don't know why, it's just a sort of quirk that I have. And actually, I did a paper, a chapter in one of our books on reforming the education system as one way to try to get rid of woke and one way to actually increase respect for free speech. And one of the things I advocated for students to do in primary and secondary school is to have, every couple of years, force all students to debate an issue from the opposite side they would normally do, so that they're
we had to
forced
do this in 12th grade.
to consider the validity of other points
Yeah.
and express them. Now, one of the things I always do in podcasts and interviews and debates and so forth is I try to avoid doing what many people on the left and the right do, and that's talk theoretically and try to essentially talk about emotions and feelings, and this is why I always try to stick to the facts, because I still think the facts are undeniable. I present the facts.
This guy sounds like an alt-right Nazi to me. I can already see it. Yep.
You draw your conclusion.
Uh-oh.
I think it's quite
This is
hard to
bad.
draw any other conclusion than the
Yeah.
one that I think most of our viewers understand. And as I said,
Just how it is.
As with my cousin, when she saw the facts, she couldn't deny them, because this wasn't
Mm-hmm.
my view, my opinion. This was the clear facts. And as I said, you challenge somebody, for example, to
Yes.
explain how diversity has actually benefited. And I had one person talk about the restaurants, but I was like, well, yes, they all added, we've got the recipes now. We don't need them any longer.
I don't know where you got that from. Mr. Bean.
Yeah, so that was not the 9 o'clock news, I think, yes.
Now that we
Oh, God.
have the recipes.
And then the other one, of course, is the slavery and reparations. And I say, well, you want reparations for slavery? You living in America, living in Britain, living in the Caribbean. In what way has your life been hurt by slavery? How have you actually been disadvantaged by that? You're living in a country which has a life expectancy far longer than in West Africa. Your income is 10 times higher than in West Africa. Explain to me. And they never can.
And you'd have to take money from the black families who kept slaves as well.
Well, exactly. And you'd also have... if there were-
that's different. That would never happen.
if there were Jamaicans living here, they'd be
Yes.
paying reparations right through taxes to people in Trinidad. Makes no sense at all. And of course, there were only...
People want reparations because they want money. This is not really, there's no logic in this at all, right? Like, I mean, I can see reparations for something like, Japanese internment camps, because it was people that were directly affected by, like, let's say, a certain thing. But, like, in terms of overall, absolutely not.
A few thousand slave owners, the majority of Brits descend from people who lived lives of abject poverty akin to serfdom in the first place, so why should they pay? But you are a victim of slavery. In what way? And suddenly, all of their arguments go, because it's all based upon emotion and fluff. I deal in facts, and I think that's the only way you can hopefully bring over people on the left who aren't so radicalized. Right? That's what I want to try to bring, people who are still sitting on the fence or on the left but are reasonable and logical. You're never going to convert the complete extremists.
The
Well, even
retards,
when you did
yeah.
so with your cousin, who I imagine was not the fact that she watched it at all, she must be quite open-minded. The fact is, you're a family member, a loved one. It's much.
No, being open-minded at all, like, that automatically rules out, like, 30% of people on each side. Probably 20% of people, maybe 10% of people on each side. Maybe it's not as high as 30. But it rules out a lot of people on each side. It does.
Easier to do it that way. It's like they need a friend. It's a fashion thing, and a friend of theirs has to say, like, yeah, I might vote for reform, and they might then be a bit shocked. And then
Well,
maybe...
that's actually, he brings up a really good point about this, and I think that he's completely right about it, which is a lot of people's politics, especially young people's politics, are used as social currency and social accessories. So, and they're also a form of social posturing. So they act this way in order to seem like they're part of the in-group. There aren't a lot of these positions that are actually informed by any sort of like moral authority. They're just simply going with what people already believe. There's a huge expectation and a huge pressure for a lot of people to maintain the status quo opinion, and I think that you can see that.
A few months
And be
later.
respectful. You know, what happened to decent... It's like old debates where you would shake hands after having a debate.
yeah.
And that now, even that is becoming... I've been in a couple of university debates where people have refused to shake my hand afterwards. And you just think, gosh, have we gone to the stage now where just sharing opinions now and viewpoints is a cause for cancellation?
Well, they think, if they genuinely think you're a Nazi,
Yeah.
well, then you don't... I get, they're not right, but that's what they think, isn't
But
it?
there's visceral anger on the left. I mean, you see...
Well, the problem with that is, and I think the reason why that's happened is because we've allowed people to exist in a world that is their truth. And I think this has happened with like allowing people to believe that they're two-spirited. It's happened with people believing that, you know, they have like these imagined pronouns, etc. And it's happened also with people that are making up definitions for Nazi or racism. To the extent that you let people live in their own world and you don't hold them accountable to what the truth and the facts are, is the point where you diverge even farther from reality. So you have people that are living in these abstractions of reality that are just totally different from what a normal person experiences. It's why mental illness is through the roof. Yes, exactly. No, it absolutely is. And so it's a consequence of free speech. Well, no, it's not, because the issue is not that you can't speak out against it, it's that people do. And I'm not saying it should be illegal to be stupid. I'm just saying that people should be able to acknowledge when somebody's being stupid. But I think that really the issue, especially with like a lot of identity politics, is that a lot of people are unwilling to, for whatever reason, acknowledge and define bad behavior. And also delusional behavior. It's basically like anything that you believe that you are is true. Well, that's a really, really dangerous precedent to set. That's a crazy dangerous precedent to set. You're free to believe whatever you want as long as it doesn't impose on others. But the problem is that people may be free to believe that, but the difference is that other people don't feel free to oppose them. And I think that's really the issue. So when people can just make up whatever reality they want, and it's not seen as politically correct to correct them, especially whenever we're referring to things that are just totally illogical, like thinking that you have two spirits inside of you. This is a mental illness, and it shouldn't be treated as anything else other than that. Nobody should be playing games with this. Nobody should be trying to accommodate this. Nobody should be taking this seriously. It should just be immediately discarded and viewed as retarded, because that's what it is. But the problem is that people try to, and this is the way that people's empathy ends up hurting them, is that they end up allowing this to happen. And it just makes it worse and worse over time. And now, and this is the thing, right? It's like, like at the beginning, right? It was like, okay, somebody wants to, like, okay, somebody's trans. Okay, that's fine. You're trans, okay. Well, then now you have people inventing new genders. Now you have people thinking that they're animals, right? At what point do you draw the line between reality and fantasy? And the issue is that there is no logical position on where to draw that line. And that's it. Those seasons, yes, clearly. Two spirits is literally a personality disorder. Well, that's clearly what's happening.
You can never tell someone, say, Labour scum, right? Or kill a Labour MP, as we just had from this kneecap organisation. I'm told on these dating apps now it's no Tories, right? I don't think anyone's probably said no Labour or no Lib Dems. I suppose it's
yeah, they do. Whenever they mention, like, no fat shit.
Because traditionally the right, the left think the right are evil, and the right think the left are stupid. So we want to talk and go, come on guys, let me explain this to you. And they want to go, no, you're evil. Well, as the old adage said, if you're not a liberal at 25, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative at 35, you have no brain. This is the thing. Bloody hell. Well, and what is Keir Starmer? I mean this almost in an existential sense. What the hell is it sort of a robot, a kind of a how's that word? Apparatchik? It just seems to blank slates kind of thing.
Well, it's clear he's clearly not the person with any political acumen or instinct. I mean, it's been nothing but calamity after calamity.
91%.
Yeah, guy seems like a joke.
I'll be honest. Are not subscribed. Do a favour, hit subscribe.
Okay.
Free,
Fine.
takes 2 seconds. Helps us question everything together.
I like that video, I do. And I think they bring up a lot of good points. And I think the problem is, again, it's letting people live in their own realities. I think that was probably the most damaging and most detrimental thing to do. It is constantly letting people live in their own realities. So let me link you.
Because I know.
And yeah, I'll take away this accent. So we go. Yeah, link the video. I forgot. And Starmer's continuing. He pivots towards whatever political stance is better. Yeah, exactly, right. And make reality great again. Yes, imagine that. So there you go. There's some videos. give it a like. I definitely agree with this. It's a parenting issue, and these motherfuckers are adults now. Nah, bro, like you can't tell me it's a parenting issue whenever you've got people that are 60 years old that are crashing out. Like you've got to be a little bit more reasonable with that, okay? And hate that liberals been claimed by fucking nutcases out there. Well, yeah, definitely. And so, watch the H3 Nuke video. I will. We'll watch it in a few days. Don't worry about it. Probably a day or two, and we'll get around it. What do you mean let, though? You're talking about policing since our realities are contained in our mind? Well, so whenever I say let, I mean the polite allowance for people to behave in a certain way and the aversion to confronting people's delusions. And I think, like, for example, it's not considered socially acceptable for a person to bring up, like, no, you're not actually like this, you're just crazy. And I think that's been the problem. It's because you can't bring this stuff up, and you're not supposed to bring it up. And because of that, it's caused everybody to, effectively, it's caused a chilling effect on reality. And it's allowed unreasonable, weird people to just get more unreasonable and more crazy. Let's talk about Asmongold and his takes. Uh-oh.
Today, I'm going to provide, in the best of my ability, a fair analysis of Asmongold's takes on topics that would overlap now.
Yeah.
For the 0.0000000000007% of you who have never heard this name, I will try to provide a short, brief, but fair introduction to the man before we begin with the analysis of his takes. And in order to do that, I'm going to disappear for a moment. Why? Well, because it's not about me, is it? Alright, Asmongold is a gaming streamer, at least at his original core, who managed to reach impressive notoriety to the point that he's one of the most viewed streamers on Twitch. On what category, you ask? Gaming? Well, he's very popular in that substrate too, but no. In the political commentary sphere. He's, in fact, Twitch #1 political commentator. Now, how did this happen, you ask? Well, I think one of the reasons could be the fact that his name is now one of the most searched words on Google search engine above, for example, the NBA, among other things. So I'm sure that that's a contributing factor. But it's not all there is to it. And also, I'd like to underline while I'm at it, since ASMR seems to be #1, I think I should probably open an ASMR channel. Metaphors ASMR with elements, but I digress. Let's first and foremost frame this in the most coherent way, and then we'll go into the takes. So I'll begin by, rather than talking about who he is, I want to talk about what Asmongold is, and in order to do it, I'm going to give a definition in reverse. So let's retro-engineer it. What Asmongold is not is a political commentator, regardless of any given success in the space. He's a gamer who comments on politics.
I comment on everything. I give my unsolicited opinion about everything. That's what I do. If something happens on the internet, I'm going to talk about it. It's that simple.
He's a gamer who provides commentary on politics, usually through the prism of the culture war, in relation to gaming specifically. So, in most cases, there is that connection, a tethering to them. Although these days, I've seen him comment on policy and news too from time to time. Still, once you frame it that way, a gamer who comments on politics, you'll be able to understand how he can be based on certain topics, mostly those relating to common sense within the gaming space, but also, at the same time, fall short on other more complex issues. After all, that's to be expected. He clearly doesn't have a background in political science, international economic theory, nor history, so he will act in those areas when he gives an opinion, and people should keep that in mind. If you're commenting on, say, economic policy, a full grasp, for instance, of the socio-economic underpinning of any given item in discussion would be required to have a complete picture and therefore come to a reasonable conclusion. Yet, in my experience, whenever we talk about Asmongold, we talk about this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Asmongold. So what do I mean by that? Imagine you have a D20 right now and you roll it. Unless it's gaming, with which I often agree with his takes, particularly when it comes to politics and games, you have to roll your dice, the D20, to represent Asmongold's position.
That's right. I have a lot of crazy opinions. That's true.
If you get any number from 2 to 10, my reaction to what he's saying will be, oh gosh, I don't know. No, I don't think I can agree with that. You roll again and you get between 11 and 19. I will say, you know what? What he just said makes perfect sense. Yeah,
that's right. Absolutely. And we do so many videos, it happens constantly.
I agree. Sometimes he rolls a 1. In those cases, I'll go, ooh, no,
No way.
no, oh no,
Yeah.
no. I'm sorry, no. Although then again, to give credit to the man, he usually apologizes publicly for those takes, and other times, sometimes you roll a 20. When that happens, I say, Asmongold, based.
Somebody has
So
to.
which one we're going to encounter today? Well, I've got a few videos prepared, so then we can see which dice we roll and what number we get. In fact, just for fun, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll,
Let's see it.
and let's see what we get. Roll the dice. Woohoo!
Ooh.
Okay, this was not a
Ooh,
good
not
take,
so good.
Asmongold. Next. Ooh, Asmongold, that was pretty good.
Pretty base.
Now, for the analysis to be complete, usually when it comes to criticism towards Asmongold, this is twofold. On one side, people say he's a React channel.
Yes.
And then we can go into the legal and moral analysis of this section. And then
That's
on the other
true.
side, there is the accusation of Asmongold being a right-wing grifter. So, how about we deconstruct these and I'll share with you my honest opinion on all of these.
All right,
When we
let's
talk
hear it.
about React channels, I'm gonna be honest with you, I occasionally do React videos myself. It's lazy content. It's the easiest type of content that a creator can make. I personally usually choose to do React videos when I'm busy preparing
Yes.
something more research that requires time and there is a certain level of production value. Those take time. So in the meantime, I'll produce a couple of fillers that are React videos. I try to provide commentary that is interesting, congruent, and cohesive, considering the topic at hand, particularly when it comes to history. But at the end of the day,
He's right. I mean, obviously, like editing and putting together an entire video is harder to do than watching a video and reacting to it. I mean, it's objective life, of course.
no matter how you look at it, React content is lazy. So,
Yes.
Asmongold, since his channel is mostly React, compared to channels that do full production and research, is lazy. He still puts
Effective. Not lazy, effective.
a lot of work in it, because I imagine he's live for a monumental amount of hours,
Yes.
so comparatively, he is lazy. But I think he would accept that, at least for what I understand. He would say, yeah, sure, I'm late, yeah, sure. See, compared to other creators. But is it illegal, what he's doing? Most importantly, is it immoral? And I would like to respond to this because, due to the fact that I've done a little bit of React myself, I've had those accusations. From the legal perspective, we need to discuss the fair use disclaimer, which under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, I've
That's a
got
long
it right
time
in
ago.
front of me, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, education, research, scholarship, and, as I said, in general, commentary.
Scholarship
so, from
is
a
what
legal
covers me,
perspective, strictly
obviously.
speaking, as long as it provides enough commentary in order to make his reaction content transformative in nature, he's doing nothing illegal, and nor am I whenever I do a React video.
Fair use is a defense legally, so it's not something that you can claim proactively. It's something that you use as a defense in court. My perspective with it has always been like, if people don't like Reacts, then I won't react to their channel. Period. Right? I mean, unless they're making you don't like Reacts because you're reacting you're making a video that's negative about me, and like you don't want me to react to it. Well, too fucking bad, right? But other than that, yeah, I would not react to their videos. I do that all the time. I think that's reasonable.
Now let's talk about the moral aspect of this. I like being thorough when I do these examinations as well as fair. Is it morally wrong to produce React content? Usually people that complain about this, I know myself because of the comments I get, they say that React channels are content thieves, in the sense that someone else with a much smaller channel produced a video. The big React commentator reacts to the video, they are stealing their spotlight, they are stealing their views. This is never or almost never beneficial to the creator that is being watched. And therefore, this practice is highly immoral. Sure. Now, the situation with this is it's a very reductive way to look at this, and it's a really case-by-case scenario. But when it comes to the kind of commentary that I provide, and also for what I've seen when it comes to Asmongold,
and that's always the perspective that I've had, is that like, yeah, I think it's stupid to say that and to like just to place it in like that level of a simplistic viewpoint. But if somebody feels that way, then I wouldn't react to them. It's that simple.
The real question,
and also, by the way, I think that you could extend this logic to video games, and I don't really see a lot of people talking about this, but if a person plays a video game they're probably putting in less effort than a person who made the video game, or the entire team of people who made the video game. So, in the same way that I think reacting to a video is, in a way, you know, like kind of not really like if you want to say that's not fair use, then neither is playing a video game in terms of effort. For sure they are. Yeah, and also another good component to this too is that when you're playing a video game, you do act as a market replacement for that video game for a lot of people. There are a lot of people who watch a video about a video game and then choose not to buy the video game themselves because they already got their experience through watching somebody else. So I think that really until they want to apply that same logic to video games, I don't really take a lot of the criticism about React channels and this type of complaint very seriously, because I think it can be applied a lot more broadly than what they expect, and I think people just don't like React content fundamentally, and they're looking for a reason to talk about it. Publishers can copyright strike you, but they choose not to. Yeah, but they can't copyright strike you for that reason. And you're talking about the morality of it, not the legality of it. But, you know, you're right technically. That's true.
Should ask is, can it ever be beneficial for a smaller channel? And I have the answer. Let's have a look at this channel, ladies and gentlemen. This channel is called The Background NPC.
What a
And
surprise.
you can see it's a channel with 112,000 subscribers.
Yep.
It's a highly successful channel. Man, how many videos did she have to make in order to be this successful? 300, 500, 11 videos, ladies and gentlemen. How did this happen? Either this lovely lady is a genius of algorithmic interpretation and reading within YouTube ecosphere, or we actually see what happened, which is the man himself reacted to one of her videos. When he reacted to her, she had 300 subscribers. When did he react? Freaking 10 minutes ago.
Well, here's a good way to look at it. I've had companies pay me to react to their trailers. You guys ever see, remember whenever the marathon event happened and they paid Lyric and Shroud and everybody to react to it? If reacting doesn't create value, then you wouldn't have companies paying streamers money to react. It obviously creates value. That's why they're paying money. Like, I mean, there it is, right? I mean, because, like, everybody, like, you're talking about, like, theoreticals and, like, all these, like, hypotheticals and everything. But whenever you get down to brass tacks, where are people putting their money? If people are paying for reacts, that means that they're valuable.
So she went from 300 subscribers to 112,000 subscribers, and deservingly so. She's a lovely content creator. I think she makes really nice videos, and now she's got a career. So, and what I want to say about this is that we're going to watch, by the way, various videos. We're going to watch this, but I think she's really nice, so you should go and check her out. Not that I have the same level of influence in any way, shape, or form, of course, but I would like to encourage you because I think she's really nice as a content creator. There she is. Sure. And do you think she is going to complain about content theft? How many views did she get in the original video? I don't know, but I don't think she's going to have a problem with that. In fact, I watched her reaction and she was very grateful. Sure. So in this case, this happened. You could say, yeah, but does this ever happen? Well, Penguin Zero, 16 million subscribers, his career was ignited because a bigger channel reacted to one of his videos.
Well, there's a lot of people who, like, I've reacted to their videos and it's gotten people to watch them, for sure. Same with streamers. I mean, it's common sense. Of course this happens.
Videos. Jacksepticeye, 30 million
Duh.
subscribers. His career was kickstarted by a bigger creator that reacted to him, and there are plenty of stories like this. Even if the video in question is a horrible video, even if a big creator reacts to you, you're not gonna have success. So of course part of this is due to the fact that she produced a good video, and also as you can see, she's been posting, so she needs to now retain the new subscribe wave. She does have some merit into this, but let's stop pretending that when a big creator reacts to a smaller creator, it's only detrimental to the smaller creator. This is a clear evidence, and I'm all
It's so obvious that that's not the case. It is. It's so obvious. There's so many points of reference for it. I mean, yeah, of course.
About the fact that she absolutely benefited. Enormous, and I'm happy for her. Look at the views. She gets more views than me, and I'm so happy for it. In fact, I'll start watching it. You know what? I'm just gonna subscribe to her right now. And I suggest you to go and check her out, because I think she deserves it. I'm very happy that she got, look at this, 400,000 views. I have trouble getting 400. I do sometimes, but it's not easy for me to get 400,000 views. She just got 400,000 views. That's phenomenal.
About me.
Happy for her. Now let's address the other accusation. Is he a right-wing grifter. Now, this is a situation that is a little difficult for me to express without getting annoyed.
Twitter's
Because
not gonna like
oftentimes, even though I've expressed millions of times that all I care about is the truth, I am a very moderate individual politically. I'm not a hateful individual. I don't like extremists. Still, whenever I make a video and if the evidence that I'm providing doesn't confirm biases on either side, people get mad. So when I make a video and it upsets people on the left, they call me right-wing grifter. There are plenty of videos on the tube that call me a right-wing grifter.
Yes.
And then when I make a video that upsets people on the right, they call me woke. So I'm either the
If you're being called woke and a right-wing grifter, you're making the right calls. Because both of the groups of people that scream that stuff are usually radicalized, disconnected from reality retards.
Wokeathon on a Monday and the meta chart on a Tuesday, which is logically impossible.
Yeah.
Or I think people are getting a little easily offended. What they do is that they use the word grifter to describe and in fact insult simply someone who disagrees with them. But what about
Yeah, the idea of grifting is that, well, grifting is being disingenuous and dishonest. I don't know why people say that about me when I've had a 10-year history of being retarded for free. Like, you can call me an asshole, you can say I'm bad, but to say I'm doing it, I'm faking it, I mean, I've been method acting this my whole life. That's a lie.
Well, first of all, let's divide it. Is he right-wing? Now, I know that some of you will say, oh, absolutely, he's right-wing. And then there will be people that say, no, he's a left. When I read these comments, I know that people that call him right-wing are probably lefties, and people that call him left-wing are probably right-wingers.
I like this video a lot. That's exactly right. 100%.
The reality is, for what I've seen so far, and as I say, I'm trying to be fair, I think he is very right-leaning when it comes to his positions concerning the culture war within the gaming space. That's what I would say. But I've also heard him say things that no conservative would ever say. So I personally think his takes are mixed. Perhaps we could describe him right-leaning, but he's definitely not as right-wing as a Matt Walsh. I think we can agree with that. But is he a grifter? Well, how about we look at the definition of grifter, since I like being thorough. Grit.
They hate the dictionary, bro. They hate this. Yeah, this is not, they're not gonna like this one. Here we go.
Ways of getting money dishonestly that involves tricking someone. Is he getting money dishonestly? No. A grifter is a con artist, someone who obtains money by swindling or tricking others. Is he tricking? No. Someone who gets money dishonestly by tricking people? I'm gonna say no. Now, within the modern political space, grifter...
They just make this up to say the only reason why people use this word is so they can invalidate another person's opinion. They're trying to make their opinion seem like it's inauthentic so they don't have to engage with it. That's the reason they create this term.
Doesn't always mean fraud, because I think this definition does not fit Asmongold. I'm trying to be honest here. He's clickbaity, occasionally I'm too, but not fraud. So sometimes in the political space these days, particularly within the culture war, people use it to mean a person of online presence that uses political topics that they know will go viral in order to make a profit. The problem is that in my opinion, and this is just my opinion...
What do you think the news does? Do you think the news reports on things that nobody cares about? No. The news isn't reporting about a cat getting stuck in a tree in Wisconsin. They're reporting about a bomb going off. Because more people care.
This only applies to people that do this, but they don't actually believe and are not being authentic. That's my personal idea of grifting, since, in the original word, at least etymologically speaking, a certain level of trickery has to be present. If you don't believe in it, and you're just making these videos because you know they will make you money in order to cater to your audience, and then once you get enough money, you forget about your audience, you go to an island and change name, then yeah, you're a political grifter, left or right. But when you do believe in this, and it does appear to me at least, he seems to be authentic. So, if you're genuine, what you could say, because I know people in my audience, some are right-wing, some are left-wing. If you are left-wing, you can easily say, hey, I disagree with these takes. Because, yeah, those takes might be right-wing from your position. But calling him a grifter is inappropriate simply because, for me, in order to be grifting, the person should be unauthentic. And that's my opinion. Feel free, of course.
You can just look at, like, I made videos about Gamergate 10 years ago. Like, I mean, literally, we're talking about 10 years ago. I mean, I've been going in on this for a while.
Agree or disagree? Watch a few videos. The videos that I've prepared today for you that I would like to review when I appear on camera again in 3, 2, 1. Muppet is back. No, wrong. Muppet is back. No, wrong. Goodness gracious.
What's this?
Technical difficulties.
It's fucked up.
There we go, I'm back. Hey, good to see you.
Screaming
So yeah, we're gonna review I want to see his take on Dragon Age Veilguard. Let's see what he has to say about Dragon Age the Veilguard, because maybe he'll get more political about it. Let's see, from a very moderate individual, there might be some things that I'm like, I don't know if he's stepping up. Let's see. It's a 2 minute.
He's just watching. He's just giving his opinion. You don't have to be a fan or a hater. No, it's not a big deal. Like, that's like internet fanboy mentality. It's just watching my videos and talking about it. It's not a big deal.
It's a 30-second clip, so we're gonna go through this one quickly, guys. I would be more than happy to do a call-up quiz, absolutely. Without 100%.
And a lot of people that have given extremely positive and favorable reviews to a game
Bunch of liars.
that has received a tremendous amount of criticism. They are.
Dragon Age the Veilguard is a triumphant return to form. Without a doubt, a return to form for BioWare. Return to form!
Return to form. Form meaning Dragon Age. Form meaning Dragon Age Origins.
So he knows about it. So this is it's even getting him mad.
If you don't know what Dragon Age Origins
Yeah.
is, you will not be able to understand the depth
You're getting him
of the
mad.
absurdity of this statement. Return to form.
It's insane.
Return to form! Return to form!
Dragon Age the Veilguard review. Nice. So there's a reason YouTube got rid of dislikes. What is the dislike speak? 40K? Holy shit!
To give you perspective, the tool that allows you to still see the number of dislikes is not 100% accurate. But it does give you 8, so don't take it literal. But it does give...
It's not a good ratio and all the comments are bad. I think that you can come to the conclusion that the video was not very well received.
An overall fair analysis
You know?
when it comes to the data.
It's a trend.
Ball range of... It's an estimate. Still, I can see that. I can see that. I forgot to add my dislike. I'll add it later.
I clicked on the video merely for the comment section. If you ever feel useless, remember that this channel exists. This isn't a review, it's sponsored content. That's fucked up.
Oh, that's wild.
I'd lied better. So he loves it.
You clearly find talking about dragons boring.
What? How? Who doesn't like dragons?
You're not ready? I'm not ready either. Let's watch it.
Pounding that snake's nose. She's still holding the ruby in her other hand.
It was crazy how many videos we made about this game and how bad it was. It's actually insane whenever I go back and think about it. Same with Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm actually almost sad that these games aren't coming out anymore because they were such good content.
Because panties, I was so proud.
Oh,
Shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
what are you doing?
Pulling a barb.
Oh, okay.
Bad blood among your crew's not good for morale.
I remember
but there's not
this.
always time for big, drawn-out apologies.
Yep.
So when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right. Pulling a...
I will say that looking at her, she's still hot. Now, like the narrative and like her doing push-ups, I'm not even talking about the dialogue. It's got nothing to fucking do with the dialogue. I'm not even listening. It's just stupid. Because she she used the wrong pronouns.
Yeah, I didn't even care.
It's really stupid.
He's playing the game on
they did
mute,
nerf her boobs. I think they did.
Yeah, I agree with him, but I would like to say the writers did a disservice to the people that, of course, use the pronouns and whatnot by doing this, because this is obnoxious. So the reality is, in my opinion, is that even the writers, they did it because they needed to own the freaking shots. They didn't do it because they wanted to actually support the LGBT community and all that. Because if you do, you're going to sit down and really think, because this was a catastrophic failure. But let's be honest, people that professionally work into the R&D department or in general marketing, you're telling me that they couldn't foresee that this was going to create a massive backlash because it's cringe?
No, I actually think that they're not able to, because anybody who brings it up or speaks against it, it's like the emperor's new clothes, but the emperor is in North Korea. And so what ends up happening is that when somebody speaks up and says, oh, I think this might alienate people and people might not like this, they get called and maligned as a racist or some sort of bad actor or a bad person. And so why would you, as a guy that's working at this company, put your career on the line to, you know, put yourself in the crosshairs of every mentally ill Karen that's working at that company and then get called into HR for being transphobic because you think that this character wouldn't align with what viewers' expectations are? So that's the reason why. And it's toxic positivity because nobody can speak out against it or say anything that's problematic about it.
It's just that they don't care. So I agree with him. He's right. This is stupid and it's cringeworthy. But I want to say this.
Hazen, you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it. But they just want to get the whole thing over with. But pulling a bar, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them. Oh, you know, I didn't...
That is the project if I've ever seen one. Writer of this. You just made the entire franchise about yourself. Can we be honest about this?
This is the reason why nobody likes them. It's the reason why these games are dying. Yep.
That is exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened.
I didn't mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them feel better.
Oh, okay, yes, some people might do that.
Pulling a bar.
Are you sure that them was the right pronoun and making them feel bad? You know. Did she ask or no? But yeah, this is the cringe fest. Another one. This is the cringe fest.
Puts it on the person who screwed up. They made the mess. They fix it. Done.
I cannot wait. Tomorrow is going to be such a good day for me. I'm going to wait. We had like 80 or 90,000 people watching the stream. It was such a good day for me. It was an insanely good fucking day. One of the best days, in fact.
Wake up early.
What's this dialogue? It's not dialogue. It's a sermon. Yeah.
Base.
So true.
He's absolutely right, 100%.
Yep.
I was expecting, by the way he was described, base. It's exactly what it is. It's a sermon. Indoctrinating sermon, in fact. It is. It's a sermon. Even if you agree with it, you could say it's a sermon. You could agree with it. I know my audience is mixed. Some people in the comments will be like, no, I'm left-leaning. Fine. You agree with it, but it's still a sermon. He's correct. He's right. At this point, someone who watches this and says, oh, Asmongold is a horrible, toxic individual, I think they're just saying it because they don't like that the guy has a different opinion.
That's right. They just don't like the fact that I'm saying something that they disagree with. That's it. That's the only thing.
By the way, and some of his takes are clearly left-leaning, not in the culture war. In the culture war, I guess a lot of his takes would be considered right-leaning. Although for me, what I've seen up to this point is a freaking
I think that people have changed the Overton window so much that a normal point of view is considered right-leaning. The reality is that a lot of people are not right-wing because they don't want to see neo-pronouns, non-binary, and trans stuff in video games. This is actually the majority of most people. So if you're trying to create a dichotomy between like two different extremes of people, and you've created this dichotomy where a average amount of people is fitting into one of those extremes, then you have a bad calibration of where that window is. When most people end up being extreme, then it kind of defeats the idea of something being extreme in the first place.
Sense. It's not even...
It's insane.
I understand that everything has become political. I can't even say that I like freedom of speech without people calling me a fascist, which is the craziest disconnection from reality that I've ever seen. Because, yeah, if being pro-freedom of speech makes you a fascist, then you have to explain to me how is it possible that during the fascist regime in Italy, you could not go to Rome and say Mussolini is a monster.
Most fascist countries do not let you speak out freely and have freedom of speech. Anybody who says that is a retard. They're just saying that because it's their special word. They're using the special word.
Instead, because they would have shot you on the spot. When it comes to me, and that's my moderate take when it comes to these things, as long as someone is polite, as long as someone asks me politely, hey, I have this other name, I will use their preferred name.
That's exactly what I
Because
said.
I use the name
Yeah.
Metatron, and you guys are very nice, telling me Metatron, calling me Metatron. Appreciate it. It's not my birth name. Fine.
Really?
And when it comes to preferred pronouns, don't you even try with the crazy ones like bunny, bunny self, demon, demon self. Never gonna happen. I'm never gonna say even at GUN point.
Bro, yep. Get this shit out of my life. Yep.
But when it comes to he or he, the regular pronoun,
Yeah, the normal
as long
ones.
as someone
The
asks
real
me
ones.
politely, I will do it out of politeness.
Exactly.
With that being said,
Yeah, because and this is what a normal person does, by the way. Because the normal person doesn't want to have a confrontation in the Target parking lot. A normal person doesn't want to have an altercation at the Verizon store. You know, like, yeah, sure, she? Okay, yeah, sure, she. Okay, so yeah, ma'am, can I please get the phone now? Like, let's be honest, yeah. You don't want to get in a fight at GameStop.
someone like Dylan Mulvaney, who made a statement publicly, said that it is the belief of this creator that people should go to jail if they don't use the preferred pronoun, then I will not use it on purpose. Just to show a
Fuck you.
resistance
That's
against
why.
people who
Because
want to take
fuck
away
you.
my freedom. Now, if you disagree with that, and you want to say, no, I don't want to use any preferred pronoun, that's your freedom. If you instead go more left and you want to say, no, I use all pronouns, everything, bunny, bunny, vampire, self, whatever it is.
And you can see this is the reasonable perspective that every normal person has, that it's totally okay for you to dictate what you choose to do, but it's problematic whenever you decide and dictate what I need to choose to do. You can clearly see this difference that he's creating. It's so obvious.
It's your freedom as long as the freedom of the individual is not being taken away by a government that shouldn't have any business into what people say unless what they are saying leads to a crime. That's the only case in which, within at least the United States Constitution where I live, speech is not protected. The government has no business in my freedom of expression.
Why is that an
So once
extra
again,
concept?
you're a nice person. You're lovely.
People don't understand it because they don't want to, because they want to tell you what to do. That's why.
You're not one of those crazy activists, and you tell me, look, I actually have gender dysphoria, but clinically proven, and you want me to use your preferred pronoun, I'll do it because you're being nice and you're asking me nicely. I look at the person, but if you're one of those who's gonna be like, if you don't say it, you'll be cancelled, I'll say it to make a stand. I'll use the opposite pronoun in that case.
Honestly, I feel like that was a really fair video. I do. I think that was a super fair video. Like a lot of the stuff that he was talking about, yeah, I think he was very fair. What a good guy. And I think that a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people that don't really give me a fair shake because I am, you know, a demon. And some people are not big fans of that. They don't really like that all too much. And so Intentions Metatron's pretty fair. Yeah, and so I was glad to see it. It's really nice. It was very fair. Actually, it was. And so I do appreciate it absolutely. So yeah, it's a good thing. And there's a video. I've never watched one of his videos, Metatron. Oh, he's almost at 1 million subscribers. Holy shit. Holy 983,000. God damn. Well, there's 983,001. And yeah, good guy. And I think that, again, you need more reasonable, well-intentioned, normal people out there on the internet. And I think that's it. You truly believe that, a demon? There are a lot of people who... this is what they do. I'm not even kidding you. Just a minute.
Alas, a champion has fallen.
Yep. Oh, in case you didn't get the point, here, let me make it easier to understand. Now do you guys see the problem? Wow! Uh-oh. Yeah, he's summoning? Yeah, I learned how to make those in middle school. I'm really good at making those. Like, I could do that without even thinking. And it's a really good star, by the way. Trust me. I listened to enough, you know, like System of a Down and every other, like, fucking emo metal band and shit like this. As a little kid, like, bro, I can make a perfect fucking pentagram. And so, yeah, there you go. Oh, here we... Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. Who's ready? Hassan ponders where heroes are in the streaming space to keep Ethan and Aspen Gold in check. Okay, let's... This is great. Where's my knight in shining armor? All right, let's listen to this.
Or there are numerous examples of people that were just like cast aside as pariahs. But nowadays, a lot of the people that do speak
like Destiny
out about this shit. A lot of people that do speak out about this kind of stuff are actually some of the most awful people, right?
Yeah.
Team Star Orbiters that rely on this constant cycle of toxicity. So even the good side of commentary YouTube just basically stays quiet. And a lot of big content creators try to stay away from this drama because they don't want this kind of toxicity to come their way, which is understandable.
Has it ever occurred to you that big content creators stay away from drama between Israel and Palestine because they are Americans in a Western country and they have no business and no interest making comments on international affairs if they're not educated or understand? Why would somebody like Markiplier or somebody like Mr. Beast come out and start talking about this? They don't understand this. Like, this is this weird thing that I think a lot of people that are, you know, celebrities or pseudo-celebrities or people that, you know, have like a degree of worship around them, this is a weird thing that they do where they expect people in these positions to have informed, educated, and accurate opinions about all of these world events. And I feel like it's a very toxic mindset to have. The fact is that you are not elevated in any sort of a way like this, and this goes with me too, right? It's not like I have any more of a better understanding or anything like that on one of these topics than some other random person in chat does. And just because someone's popular because they make Minecraft videos doesn't mean that they have some obligation to speak out against you know, like some internet political drama. This is, and especially between when it's so personal between two people. And also, like, I'm sure even Hassan can agree with this, is that there are a lot of gray areas in this conflict with, let's say, Ethan, right? Like, for example, Ethan having CPS called on him. People, you know, calling Ethan's wife ugly. There are, like unjustifiably bad actions that have been taken that a lot of content creators that just don't want to be involved with this. And also, and here's another thing, they don't want to pick a side because both sides are bad. That's the reason why. This isn't something where it's like, I'm trying to think of like a Onision or like Liver King or somebody like that, where like this person's just very clearly awful and fraudulent and bad, and so everybody can just have the safe opinion, or Dr. Disrespect, right? Everybody has a safe opinion about it. Nothing more than modern justice. Are we up to explaining politics to people? Well, you have to, you need to, okay, so I will say this. Jesters probably had more impact on politics whenever there were jesters than most ambassadors did. So I would say you should think about another word to use. But overall, I can see what your point is. Make music? Well, I think he's just talking about that in general. So yeah, anyway, let's go back and look at this.
You know, nobody wants this kind of a psychopath up their asshole all the time.
But Ethan called him a psychopath because he's suing people for intentionally trying to violate his copyright and then make him, like, intentionally try to cause him to lose views and money. Like, not even as a side effect, but to do it on purpose.
The problem, the less people push back against people like this, or even Asmongold, for example, for saying a whole bunch of things.
It's always about me. Everything's always about me. I'm the most important person.
things that actually make this space that we occupy a less safe space for a lot of our fans that are.
It's not any less safe whenever you have to hear an opinion that you disagree with. This entire idea of a safe space, it's not really very safe for Ethan's family whenever CPS is called on him. It's not very safe for people whenever they get deplatformed and they lose their job. The entire idea of a safe space and advocating for that, this is absolutely not true. And if you remember very clearly, didn't Hassan just very recently talk about one of the reasons why people are saying bad things on the internet is because they would get beat up in real life for it? Hassan doesn't want a safe space. He wants a space that's safe for him. And if he has the ability to, he will control and enforce that on other people. And this is one thing that a lot of these people, like a lot of people need to understand, is that people like Hassan or any of the oh, I hate the police people or anything like that, you don't hate the police, you want to be the police. You don't hate, like a bigotry, you want to be the arbiter of bigotry. You don't hate, like a power structure. You want to be the power structure. So this idea that these people are raging against the system is actually not true. They're actually just trying to advocate and vie for control over the system so they can exercise it as a weapon against people that they don't like. And you can just scroll through Hassan's tweets and you'll see that this is very regularly true. So while Hassan advocates for saying that I make things less safe for people, Hassan advocates for actively making things less safe for people in real life. So that's really where we're at. And I just want you guys to understand that because it's a very important nuance because a lot of people take somebody like Hassan at their word and they don't realize that people like him are deliberately disingenuous and they will lie to you on purpose and have blatant double standards and they insult your intelligence to such a degree that they think that you're so stupid that you can't see what's plainly in sight. And so that's really what it is. So he was practically cheering on a U.S. Senator's death. Yes, all of these people, keep in mind, they don't hate the power that somebody like me has. They want that power for themselves. Huge difference. Massive, mega difference.
Trans or
I'm making things unsafe for trans people. Why? Because I say that you shouldn't trans kids.
Documented family members or themselves are undocumented.
Well, I want it to be unsafe for people that are undocumented. I don't want them to be here. I want them to get deported. Like you're right about that. Definitely right about that. Yeah, I mean, it's straight up. Like, I'll just say it, right? I don't need to play games. I don't need to fuck around. I'll just tell you exactly what I think. Yeah, of course.
Fucking not white, you know what I mean? Like,
I want to make things unsafe for non-white people.
When none of us push back against these large content creators, and all of the big content creators that normally understand that this kind of thing is completely unacceptable, or even what Asmongold is doing is completely unacceptable, keeps silent.
And this is, you see how, wasn't Hassan just advocating for freedom of speech the other day? And saying that, oh, well, you're a free speech defender? These people don't actually care. And this is, I think, a really great example of the point that I was trying to make, is that all of the values that these people, pretend to have, they just simply use these values against you. They don't have these values themselves. They don't care about these values. They use these values as a tool to make you subvert your own goals. Unacceptable to who? To him. He's decided that it's unacceptable. This is, again, what I was saying. You don't want freedom of speech. You want to control who can speak. It's very different.